Stepping out of the light and into the kitchen. Today my brother-in-law's coming over for dinner and I'm going to make Nihari, my favourite of all curries. Anyone who watched recently will have seen I was in Pakistan, in Karachi, eating Zayed's Nihari, one of the best Niharis in the city. Now that was a recommendation to me. I followed on the conversation about that recommendation of food and I said, when I get home, I will make Nihari in my own kitchen using Shan Masala, the famous Shan Masala. You can get this basically in any Desi food shop and you can use it to make Nihari yourself at home quite simply. So just a bit of background on Nihari. It's a very slow cooked meat stew. That stewing takes a very long time because typically you use tough cuts of meats, things like brisket, shin, and the cheap tough cuts, so it takes a long time. I'm going to cheat a little because I don't have time, but I have a very nice pressure cooker and that will reduce the cooking time immensely, so I'm going to use that. So let's get started and I'll show you what you need to do to make that the best curry in the world. I went to the butcher to get some meat, and as I said, this revolves around using the tough cuts of meat. So what I've gone for is shin. There's a good reason to use shin because you get a nice combination of the bone and some of the tough meat that is perfect for Nihari. Now that's separated, bones on the left, meat on the right. I forgot to say, so you're looking for around 1 kilo of meat to around half a kilo of bones. There should be somewhere around that combination, and that's what we're going to do, fry off this. It's worth taking a quick look at the meat while I'm waiting for the pressure cooker to heat up. So we'll see, this is, you know, the cheap stuff. It's got lots of fat, it's got lots of connective tissue between the muscle, and that's what actually is the good thing about Nihari, because once we cook it and we let that soften up and all the meat goes soft. The good thing about shin meat is actually that what will happen is it will keep its structure, and that's the best thing, because if you take another cut, you overcook it, it just falls apart, it goes into mush into the curry. So these will stay nice chunks of meat that we can eat with bread. The cooker is, you know, warm, ready to fry the meat off. So one of the interesting things about Shan Masala is they changed the recipe, and before you needed to put 1.5 cups of oil. We now only need 1 cup, so that's in there. I'll just give it a few seconds to heat up. Oil should be hot enough to start frying the meat now. So first thing is to chuck the meat in. Start that frying off in the oil. That's if you can hear me over the sizzling. And I'll take the Shan Masala, and this will also get sprinkled in. So first step, make sure that meat's covered with the Shan Masala. As you can see, the meat's now in there, covered in the masala, and slowly starting to fry off to sear the meat. So we're going to do that for a few minutes. I'll occasionally stir it because I don't want the masala to burn on the bottom of the pan, but essentially we just do that until down here where the liquid is, the masala and the oil begin to separate, and then we'll move on to the next step. That is essentially done now. You'll see the masala's separating, it's actually starting to stick to the bottom, so that's when we know it's ready to go to the next stage. So we need to put the bones in. Get that lovely bone marrow in there, which will be used to thicken the sauce later. Just give that a bit of a push down, and then because it's a pressure cooker and we don't need quite as much water as the recipe, I will add in just enough to cover the meat basically. And what will happen actually is as this cooks down, the water will start to come out of the meat as well under the pressure, and we'll end up with a lot more water in there by the end of it. Now that's essentially got to boiling point. I'm going to put the lid on, just get that masala off there so we get a good seal, and there we go. Now that the pressure cooker's up to temperature, and what I will do is set the timer now. So I'm probably going to go for about 40 minutes I'll stop it 1 minute before that. While we wait for that to cook, there's a few things we can be doing, which is to prepare the toppings. So we're going to chop some coriander, slice some chilies, and also chop up into like julienne the ginger. And they are your classic Nihari toppings. Also, we need to make the bakar, and that's sliced onions that we'll be frying off later in oil, and chuck that in on the top once the meat's ready. Now it's time to open this up and see how it looks. So take that off the heat and release the pressure. Check that meat, see, yep, it's looking good. What I need to do next is take out all of these bones from the stew here, and we'll check the water level, see how much that needs to boil off. As we're out, we can see there's quite a lot of oil that would have come from the bones, plus the oil that I put in originally. And I need to add some flour and water to make the sauce. Now what's important is that you get the right amount of water with the flour, otherwise you'll get little clumps like dumplings inside the stew. And once I've done that, it should bring the sauce up to the correct kind of level and be exactly as we expect it. So let's see. So now that I've mixed the flour with the water, I'm going to add that in, and then we'll go in here slowly. You see the colour change. And now that's in, I'm just going to bring that back up to the boil until it thickens, and then we'll have a delicious Nihari. It'll be amazing. The onions are crispy. I'll pour them into the Nihari. One of my favourite bits, watching that sizzle as it goes in. And I'll stir that through. So finally it's done. Sprinkling the garnish on top. So some ginger, coriander, and chilli. Got bread. I'm making everybody wait here to eat, so hope you enjoy this video. And there we go. Pretty much the perfect Nihari from a Shan Masala packet. And now everyone else can join and eat.
Can't wait, can't wait.
So Saha Hardy official is serving herself.
Trying.
And the brother-in-law that I cooked this for in the first place is here, ready to
Thank
give
you.
his honest opinion.
I'll give you my honest opinion. Let me just have a taste of it.
You can lie. It's that kind of honesty.
No, I can't lie. You should never lie when you're eating the food.
Okay. Then in other words, they say, you know, if you don't have anything good to
I think
say,
you should lie.
Don't say it. What's the feedback? It's alright, keep it short.
It is good.
There's a but coming.
It is good, don't get me wrong. I think a little salt is missing.
Salt.
But apart from that,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really good.
You're going to have to blame Shan Masala for that.
I
Where's the
can't.
salt?
Well, I don't add salt. The Shan Masala contains the salt. No?
Definitely.
Apart from that,
Okay.
it does look like that I'm actually eating Nihari from Karachi. It does give me that taste. I won't lie to you on that. But I think a little salt will do the job. Thank you for that.
And
Quite
that is
now.
the honest feedback that I paid good money for.
But you didn't, did you?
Yeah. It's definitely better than the last time you cooked it.
Oh,
Definitely better
I'm
than
improving.
that. So it is. It's massive improvement. Massive improvement there,
Excellent.
which is great.
Thank you very much.
So now I'm enjoying it. Thank you.